don't think y'all understand. I was even scared reading this chapter. I wasn't. I wasn't. I was more peeved. Peeved off more than anything. How dare they? How dare they do that to my son? The chapter shouldn't have ended. I'm sorry if that hurts your ears if you're wearing headphones. I am so sorry about that. I'm just peeved. This chapter is just more like WTF, bro. WTF, because why? Why? They don't got nothing in their arsenal right now, bro. How they're supposed... I'm sorry if you're wearing headphones. I am so sorry. It's just that this chapter just had me go... It just... Hey guys, what is up? We're back once again for Spooky Saturday, and we are at chapter 49 of Dark Gathering. And this chapter irritated me. For a horror series, this is the first time, because my son did not deserve that. So, starting off from 48, right? We had it where those bipedal creatures were being defeated by our son, Meatball Boy. Okay? Left, right, center. They couldn't touch him because he was in his sixth form, which is the Black Ashura's son. So he's up in the sky in the ball, and it's impenetrable. Nothing can get in and nothing can get out. And we're thinking, okay, said and done. Then they retreat and they're getting taken into a Hellgate door. And out comes something straight up from the Bible. A demon straight from the Bible. Okay? Creepiest thing I've seen, because, like, listen, we've seen creepy in this series. We've seen desolate. We've seen it. But this put a shiver up my spine, because it's just the uncanniness of it, and it's just like, it was just wrong on all fronts. It was wrong on all fronts. So we know what its capability is. It looks like an angel mixed with a demon. So it has an angelic face, but the body of a demon. And so now with chapter 49, we had where obviously it starts off basically from 48 going into this chapter where, like, Kato is just like, we awoke something that we shouldn't have. And I wouldn't even... Because no one could have guessed, but then again, it should have made sense, because if we look at the trajectory of Dark Gathering as a whole, every time something, it's like boss level fights. Think about it like this: you're facing off this boss character, and then when you think you beat it, it has a second version of itself, then a third version of itself, and then you're like, now we got to use our whole arsenal to defeat this one ghost that's going through different upgrades. So in this case, this ghost is going up through, probably it skipped level 2. It went to instantly level 3, and you're at this point, you're already done. So knowing that, and mind you, this chapter didn't really have too much dialogue. It was just showing what this creature is able to do, which is quite annoying. It has, I would say that this creature has almost somewhat of a similar ability to Oron and Meatball combined, in a sense. Now hear me out, right? So the ability is shown with this creature that it has multiple hairs or feathers to attack. If the feather touches you, think of like Oron. If her butterflies touch you, it can drain your powers. It can drain you of life force to feed back to her to make her curse much more stronger, right? In this case, for this angelic demon, it uses its feathers. Once it touches whatever it needs to touch, it instantly turns them into multiple hairs covering the entire body, all white hairs, and then it splits the body from the head. It's actually nasty, but it takes his hands, whatever it covers, and then it splits the head. I know this sounds really grotesque and everything, and then it also reminds me, low key, I'm not gonna lie, it reminds me of that ghost that was earlier in the season of season 1, that same ghost that takes its victims' brains and tortures your brain cords and everything, that same ghost. So it's like three of them combined. So it's like, the reason why I say meatball, because meatball designs a person to look like a meatball and then consumes to get stronger. So that's what it does do. This same thing. So it's like 3 of them all at the same time. And then it's, I don't know if it's like, how should I put it? Once it kind of just splits the head open and then the brain comes out and then it splits the brain. And I don't know if it's like controlling or taking the essence from it. And it continues to do that. So what happens now is it starts to attack our son, Meatball son. And technically what the other ghosts, the bipedal ones, couldn't do, this one does. So it basically sharpens its feathers to create spikes that breaks the spear. It literally shatters it. And then they're looking like, what the heck? How? Before it could, none of the other ghosts were able to do that. No matter how much they hit, bite, scratch, stab, they couldn't do nothing. They could not penetrate. But somehow this one can. It's from the very pits of hell. That's a different breed. What you talking about? Straight up from hell. Of course it can do something. All right. So either way, it managed to break. And it speaks in tongues. It looks like, because this is why I said it's demonic as well, because it showed a goat. And if you're religious and everything, they do show that, like, unfortunately, goats are demonic. It's used to represent Satan, the devil. And that's what it did. So if you are a religious person, this chapter may make you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I'm just reviewing the chapter, bro. I'm sorry about that. You gotta have the beef with the creator of the series. Speak to him. But either way, one of his techniques was perish. Again, same technique that shattered the sphere. Now we do have it where when they see the feathers are dropping, and if it touches you, it turns you into basically like what happened to one of the ghosts. Your whole head split and everything. Like, y'all ever had a busted head? Like, I'm not even gonna tell the incident. It wasn't even to me. It's what I did as a kid to my sister, unfortunately. Yeah, it wasn't too horrible, but we were kids, and dang. But yeah, it's just she didn't have a split head. If y'all think about no. I did not split to the point that you see skull. No, I did not do that. But there was blood involved. I accidentally cut her in the head. I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was like we were kids and everything. I'm 7 and everything, and let's just say Samurai Jack was involved, and that's it. We'll just keep it at that. But anywho, right? Besides the point. Luckily, again, Keitaro has his Shikigami to protect him, so he did not get affected. And obviously, Eiko has the Shikigami dolls made of 3D plasma at home. So if she gets hit, the dolls at her house gets infected instead. So she's protected and everything. So we do have where Meatball Boy does have another form. So I'm thinking it was only 6. No, he has 7 forms. So he managed to hit the demonic looking ghost, blast him and everything, but it's not affected. It just keeps coming. As long as there's multiple strands of hair or feathers, it keeps coming back. So it's just like each attack is quite nullified in the sense, because no matter how much Meatball Boy hits it, it keeps coming back. So once it was able to completely shatter his shield and everything, they do have it where there was like a mini flashback or something of that sort, where Eiko remembered what Yayoi said to her. So she's like, in that mini flashback, I'll just read the page. It says, "Oh, it'll definitely be all right. To continue my talk about the Black Ashura sixth form, you can say it's a cocoon, like a butterfly, while protecting its body and mass its power. Also, it can transition into a new form. When it breaks, it will reveal its form, adding mobility to the offense and defense of Eclipse's new cursed form, of a force that can destroy anything in creation." Yeah, first off, Black Ashura is already a cold name, okay? but the fact that it can, a new form, a new cursed form that can destroy anything in creation, that's cold. That's why I said he's my son. He's my son. You know how many sons I got in anime and manga? I stopped counting after 3. But his new 7th form is called Black Ashura of the Eclipse 7th Form Massacre. So he kind of looks like, a Code Geass character in the mobile suit. So he has obviously his multiple arms. I believe it's 4 arms. Well, in total, technically 6. So he has his the jointed ones, and then he has the 4 large ones on the back. So it does look like his I guess his 5th form, but the biggest difference, one, it looks like a mecha suit. It do. And what's funny is, at the end of the chapter, like added on piece of this chapter, they had it where they had to draw like 70 copies, like different 70 drawings, until there was one that he actually, remember, he was a child when he died. So like he has a childlike mentality. So they were just drawing whatever forms that he likes until they landed on one that he says, yeah, I like that one. I can transform into that one. So this one, like his 5th form, is kind of similar in the sense of the 4 extra large arms. But the way they described it in this chapter is that like the outer shell is, he's basically in the middle in a sphere, just like he is in his 6th form, but it's now transparent enough that you can see him. But this whole new form is made for mobility, so he can go faster and still be stronger. Think of also like Cell Saga of DBZ. Not a huge form that lacks speed, but you need to be able to optimize in the sense of that there is muscles, there is strength, but you do need speed to attack your opponent. Hence why Vegeta was so slow when facing off against Imperfect Cell version 2. And same thing with Trunks, and hence why Goku and Gohan fared better because they realized 2 big muscles can't get the job done. So you can see on his arm where it was more transparent and everything, it was more gel-like, and there was liquid in it. From what from my understanding, it was both hard and soft like liquid metal. So when the liquid does touch you, coming down like acid rain, it burns whatever it touches, and then instantly it dies. So that liquid that's in the body, that's again hard and soft like metal, bendable, mobile, once it hits you, everything starts, you don't even explode like how he did with the other curses, other spirits. Instead, it melts away like acid rain. And then it goes on the attack where it completely just destroys whatever is touching. Not only that, because of the conditions that were met prior, Eiko and Keitaro and Yayoi are safe. Because for Eiko to summon him, she had to also meet certain conditions, ask him to protect him while at the same time he can feast. So once you meet those certain conditions, if he does have to go into his 7th form using this ability, whoever called upon, one, his true name, and made the conditions of why he needs to do what he needs to do based upon calling his name, you are not affected. So it's going to feel like regular water dropping on you as if you're walking through rain, but whoever is on the receiving side, yeah, you're going to melt. So we're thinking, oh, okay. And then while it's melting that other ghost, then they go trading blows for blows. Quite literally, they're going blow for blow against each other. So it's reforming, but because of the rain, it's like it's breaking down. And we think, okay, our son won. He did. He managed to end with the final blow, and that was it. It looks so cool. Then he's standing, and then you see his childlike form inside his mobile Gios Gundam suit and stuff like that. And this is where it had me peeved off. This is where I was peeved off. We thought we won. Just to find out that on his, I believe it was his left hand, the angelic demon creature left feathers. Then it consumed our son's entire body. He turned white. He turned completely white. Then he started to split him from the head top. While the thing is, I guarantee you, if the anime managed to reach this far come season 2, all I want to hear, I mean, it might be really creepy, but I think that's the whole point. I need to hear a goat laughter. I need to hear like a very distorted goat laughter. That's it. That's what I was imagining when I was reading this part, when it started to laugh. It started to laugh and it defeated my son. Now, that's why I was so peeved off with this chapter, because he's a graduate and he's done for. He's done for. And I'm here sitting like, okay, they took him out. We don't know if Keiteru's Shikigami has what it takes to defeat it. And not only that, we don't know exactly what this ability of this creature is capable of. We don't know if it's like it's only there to torture the victims with its brains, like that goes from all those episodes ago, or does it control them and then send it out to attack its victims? I don't know. All I know is that it's just displaying how sadistic it is with a pretty face. And that's why I'm just like, I got peeved, because I'm thinking, okay, my son is a graduate, but he just got defeated. I don't know if they have any other graduates by their side. And this is also making me wonder, like, is the Shikigami going to help them? Like, how are they gonna survive this? How are they gonna survive? They don't have nothing else on. They don't have nothing else. I don't know how this is going to turn out, because they eliminated my son. I didn't think my son could have been touched, but they did. And I don't know if there's amount of limited times with Keiteru when it comes to his Shikigami. And I don't know if he still has both of them. So I don't know what their abilities, because we only seen them be able to slice anything that comes within a certain radius of him that's about to endanger his life. And they immediately cut down the threat. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because they don't have no other ghosts on their side. And it literally just destroyed a graduate. I don't know if they're going to use transitional, but I don't even think they brought transitional with them. I don't know, bro. I just got peeved when I was reading this chapter, because I could not believe my eyes, bro. Not him. So I don't know how it's going to go in chapter 50. Please, no spoilers, but I'm quite literally, it's just like, you hurt my son. And I know he's already passed away. But he lingers in the 3D world. He hasn't fully passed on, but that's my child. And my child deserved a good life. If only I could take away meatballs away from him. and they just harm my child. That hurts me. That hurts me. And now I'm at a crossroads because it's just like realizing the situation, they're screwed. They are screwed. Unless the only probability I can think of is literally last ditch effort. It is the Shikigami. Or I don't know, something else comes to protect them. But I don't know. I did not expect this at this chapter. No one of you guys said like be prepared for chapter 49. I just did not expect that. Truth be told, I was expecting I was going to get spooked to the point that I was probably not going to do a video. I just did not. I was not thinking of this. No. Give a girl a warning next time. Dang. A proper warning. I'm depressed. I'm not depressed, but I'm mad as hell. I'm my son. Now you see how I feel. You guys see how I'm feeling right now? So I'm like, right now I'm just thinking like, there's no other way. Like this whole chapter, basically, majority of it was just no speaking. That's how serious this. Do you know it's very rare to see within a manga series where there's little to no dialogue. That tells you how serious whatever situation is happening, that they can only give you so much dialogue. Everything else is just like you're seeing the panels and whatever's playing out in the panels until you reach the ending of the chapter and they decide to surprise you with some BS. Not BS in a bad way, but nonetheless, good BS. But guys, do tell me in the comment section on how you felt about Dark Gathering chapter 49. Of course, I know there are manga readers and they've been reading this. So if you read past 49, no spoilers. But do tell me how you felt about this chapter. First time readers, also tell, did you expect this chapter to play out the way it did like I did? Or were you expecting something completely different? Again, as I did for the time Hikaru died, I would like to give a shout out to our Patreon member by the name of Green Tree. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being a sweet bean this month. The video also will be up on my Patreon, so you can also check it out on there. And the links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan. And I'll see you guys later. Bye! With